First suspected homicide of 2026. What police are reporting and what they are still trying to determine. Hefty price tag.
You have to pay electricity, you've got to pay for the lighting, you got to pay for insurance.
The cost of delaying the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. And another MP crosses the floor.
Quite simply couldn't sit on the sidelines.
Mark Carney one step closer to securing a majority in the House.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Windsor police investigating what they're calling a suspected homicide, the city's first of the year. A body found outside that campus early this morning, leading to many unanswered questions. Let's go straight to CTV's Chris Campbell with the latest. Chris, what are you learning tonight?
Well, Stephanie, police say this investigation began with a man being found with what they say was a fatal injury in a hospital parking lot off Lenz Avenue. This after officers were called to Windsor Regional Hospital's Metropolitan Campus just after 5:30 this morning. That's where a 44-year-old man from Windsor was found unconscious outside. As of news time, police have not disclosed exactly what that injury was. The victim was later pronounced deceased in the emergency department. Police say the Major Crimes Unit is now taking over the investigation but are not releasing many other details at this time. They're encouraging anyone with information to come forward or to call Crime Stoppers, including anyone who may have security or dash cam footage in and around the hospital area.
No ongoing risk to public safety at this time. If that changes, we will definitely put out some messaging letting the public know that that's the case, but at this time there's no risk to public safety, but I don't have any further information. The investigation is still in its early stages, and Major Crimes are, working hard to put everything together at this time.
Police say they will provide more details when they are able. Again, stressing this investigation is still in its early stages, noting next of kin needs to be notified. We'll have more on this when additional information is made available. Stephanie.
Okay, Chris Campbell with our top story tonight. Thank you, Chris. In other news, a gut punch for the federal Conservatives as a third MP crosses the floor to join the Liberals. Alberta's Matt Genereux says he made the move because of the country's challenges ahead. As CTV's Mike LeCouture explains, it's a move that creates a possible pathway for Mark Carney to secure a working majority in the House.
Matt brings a wealth of experience.
Prime Minister Mark Carney praising his newly poached MP. Matt Genereux says his decision to leave the Conservatives was more about the team he was joining.
Quite simply couldn't sit on the sidelines after seeing what the Prime Minister was ambitious agenda he was undertaking across the country and across the world.
In November, Genereux said he was leaving politics to spend more time with his family. But the Alberta MP says it was Carney's speech at Davos that convinced him to change his mind.
I think it opened a lot of eyes for Canadians, Albertans, Edmontonians, just how serious this national media crisis truly is.
A Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, responded on social media, calling the floor crossing a betrayal of the people in Genereux's riding who voted for affordable food and homes, safe streets, and a strong resource sector. And some believe Genereux could suffer the consequences of his decision in the next federal election.
When he starts knocking on doors, he's going to get a bit of a wake-up call that these people didn't vote for a good speech in Davos. They voted for a Conservative member of Parliament to represent their Conservative values, and that's not what they're getting.
But Poilievre could feel the effects first. Genereux is the third MP he's lost to the Liberals in the last 4 months. While polls have the Liberals and Conservatives in a dead heat, Carney has a 29-point lead when it comes to preferred Prime Minister.
When some caucus members leave to cross the floor to join the Liberals, that's their own vote of what I'll say discontent with Pierre Poilievre as a leader and as a potential Prime Minister.
Now, this latest floor crosser leaves the Liberals 3 seats shy of a majority. And with 3 by-elections coming up, they could get that majority without holding a general election. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meantime, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is distancing himself from comments made by one of his MPs. Jamil Javani, who represents the riding of Bowmanville, Oshawa North, called Canada's reaction to U.S. President Trump's tariffs an anti-America hissy fit.
Well, he speaks for himself, and I speak for the party.
Javani made the comments to a right-wing U.S. media outlet after making a solo trip to Washington to meet with senior U.S. officials. He called his conversations productive. Poilievre says he has spoken to Javani following the trip. The Conservative leader says his message is that Canada needs to focus on what it can do at home to increase leverage in trade negotiations. Democrats in Washington say they're escalating an investigation into U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to stall the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. They allege Trump's social media post came just hours after U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick met with Matthew Maroon, the billionaire owner of the rival Ambassador Bridge, whose family has long opposed the new crossing. Representative Robert Garcia, the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, is now demanding details about that meeting and any correspondence between Lutnick, the Maroon family, and the Trump administration. In a letter, Democrats say wealthy donors should not be holding secret meetings with administration officials to influence economic and foreign policies, and are calling for answers about what was discussed. All of this comes as a separate report from the Michigan-based Anderson Economic Group warns any delay to the bridge's opening could cost around $7 million per week, with those costs ultimately filtering down to lenders, businesses, and taxpayers.
You have to pay electricity, you've got to pay for the lighting, you got to pay for insurance, and these things need a lot of maintenance. So you're going to have that, and then you have some staffing costs. You can't lay everybody off. So it is a certain amount of money that has to be spent.
Let's take a break now. Check in with CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald with our first look at the weather tonight. Gary.
Good evening, Stefanie. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, a continuation of that fog and mist. Temperatures have cooled in the last couple of hours by a few degrees, but reached a high in double digits. More on that in just a moment. Reduced visibility, definitely the story tonight, and some showery weather through the overnight is a possibility. We are very fortunate that we didn't get into that freezing rain that cut right through the heart of the Midwestern tier, headed towards the GTA today with snow further east. Meanwhile, we will see some flurries as we approach the weekend. More rain the next day and a half, but the weekend is colder, and I can guarantee some freezing precipitation as well. I'll break it all down for you momentarily. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
And with those rising temperatures and heavy rain in the forecast, conservation officials in Chatham-Kent will be keeping a close eye on the Thames River. The Lower Thames Valley Conservation Authority says above freezing temperatures and up to 35 millimeters of rain will melt snow and send more water into the river, putting low-lying areas from Delaware to Thamesville at risk of flooding, including the riverfront in downtown Chatham, where water can sometimes spill over the sidewalk. Officials say they'll be watching conditions closely and will issue stronger warnings if flooding becomes more likely. The federal government says new affordability measures are aimed at putting more money back into Canadians' pockets as food insecurity continues to climb. Jobs and Families Minister Patty Hajdu was in Windsor again today, promoting the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit.
It's intended to really, take the sting out of inflation. So it's obviously not going to replace a person's grocery bill, but it is going to help with the inflationary pressures that we're seeing specifically in certain products.
Speaking at the Unemployed Help Center Hub of Opportunities, Hajdu said the program will replace and enhance the GST credit. It begins with a one-time top-up payment this spring, followed by a 25% increase over the next 5 years. Ottawa estimates more than 12 million Canadians will benefit, including tens of thousands across Windsor, Essex. Haidu acknowledges food bank use is rising, saying this is part of a broader strategy that includes making the National School Food Program permanent and developing a national food security plan with a focus on pricing fairness and shrinkflation. Local food bank officials say the extra support is welcomed.
They're going to have extra funds, and they can go to the grocery store now and get the items they might not otherwise get. So that'll allow them to pick out and select food items that they should be able to afford. And now they'll be able to take that money and go to the grocery store and get those items.
This takes us to our question of the day. Are you pinching pennies at the grocery store? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswinsdor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you indulge on Punchki Day. Around 68% say no, they do not. Jackson Park is fully reopening to the public as the Bright Lights Windsor display is taken down for the season. City officials say the event fixtures have now been packed away and the park's pathways, trails, and parking lot are once again accessible. Crews will continue removing perimeter fencing in the coming weeks as ground conditions improve and frost levels drop. Meanwhile, the city is also asking residents who visited the holiday display to share their feedback through an online survey. City Council is being asked to approve a plan to replace 36 aging playgrounds across Windsor. The project would cost about $16.3 million, with most of the construction happening in 2027. City staff say the playgrounds have reached the end of their life cycle based on inspections and condition assessments. New equipment would be accessible, including shade features, and be built before old units are removed where possible. Officials say starting now helps avoid gaps where neighborhoods could be left without a playground. Muslims around the world are marking the holy month of Ramadan.
This is a month of compassion and when the community comes together.
The month will see people fast during the daylight hours, using the time from dawn until sunset for prayer and reflection. Meanwhile, Christians are celebrating Ash Wednesday, including Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Revelers filled the streets of the city yesterday to mark Shrove Tuesday. Today is the beginning of Lent, a 40-day period of fasting. A nail-biter in men's hockey and more Canadians climbed the podium in Milano Cortina. CTV's Scott Hurst has the Olympic roundup.
Canadian passion was on full display following the men's hockey game in Milan.
Incredible. It was a lot of fun to be a part of.
But it was unfamiliar territory early on for Canada in its quarterfinal matchup against Czechia. After an early goal by 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini, Czechia responded with 2 goals of its own, putting Canada behind for the first time all tournament.
Classic Canadian hockey. We don't wake up the first 20 minutes of the game.
In the second period, more concern for Canada as captain Sidney Crosby left the game with an injury and did not return. But Canada was able to tie it up. Nathan McKinnon scored off a pass from Connor McDavid.
It was stressful, but we never gave up. We believe.
And that belief paid off. In the third, the teams traded goals to send this quarterfinal matchup to a 3-on-3 overtime. And it was former Toronto Maple Leaf Mitch Marner who scored the game-winning goal for Canada.
It was electric. It was just so good to be part of this community and see all the Canadian passion.
In other Olympic action, more podiums for Canadian athletes, including a gold in the men's 500-meter short track final. Stephen Dubois is now the Olympic champion. Also, Canada won a bronze medal in the women's 3,000-meter relay. The team of Dana Iblé, Kim Boutin, Florence Brunel, and Courtney Sereau. For Sereau, the 25-year-old from Moncton, New Brunswick, this is her 4th Olympic medal at these games. The spotlight returns to hockey tomorrow with the highly anticipated women's final, Canada versus the United States. The Canadians lost to the Americans earlier in the tournament, but Team Canada is the defending Olympic champion. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
We want to hear from you. Do you have a question or a comment, an idea for a great story? Text us at 10400. You can send photos and video as well. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, Netflix is threatening legal action against the company behind TikTok, claiming its AI video tool is a high-speed piracy engine. And an elderly woman attacked in broad daylight. The brazen robbery all caught on camera. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. A Harrow business owner says they have a plan to help replace the aging snowflake decorations that used to light up their downtown.
I just think it's really important that we show our community pride and that we are bringing people downtown to the Harrow Center. The lights that are burnt out are kind of embarrassing for community members and for people that live there.
Shine Hospitality owner Katie Dennis pitching the plan to Essex Council last night during an update on the decaying lights. With holiday decorations in other communities, she says the town needs to try and stand out. The town also has to replace 23 older style snowflake lights in Essex Centre. However, council has voted to get rid of those decorations until new light posts can be installed. For Harrow, Dennis says they're hopeful new lights can be locally sourced.
I have spoken to a few Harrow businesses about this issue, and I actually have requested a quote from a business in Harrow about the building of new lights that will be sustainable, and hopefully they can come up with something and I can present it to council then.
The reduced demand from Canadians flying to the United States has air carriers making changes. Air Transat is canceling all flights to the States starting this spring, while WestJet is eliminating routes. CTV's Alex Carpa on what it means for the airlines and also your travel plans.
Yeah, this is myself with my daughter when she was going to school just outside of Pittsburgh.
Mike Gebhardt is a frequent traveler to the United States.
Well, on average, I would probably travel 3, 4, maybe 5.
His daughter lives in Alabama, but visiting her sometimes is not easy.
I do fly out of Saskatchewan most of the time, so it is a bit of a challenge. Leave early in the morning, come back late at night.
And traveling could get a little more chaotic for passengers like Gebhardt moving forward. WestJet and Air Transat recently slashed several routes from Canada to U.S. cities. WestJet saying the decision comes from, quote, a notable decline in trans-border travel demand.
It's something to always be aware of.
Statistics Canada data last month showed that Canadians continue to take fewer trips to the U.S. in November 2025 amid the ongoing trade war and declining dollar. Travel agent Daryl Silver says passengers shouldn't be worried about this shift.
Yes, could there be more problems now? I suppose, but in general, I don't think that that's significant if that is happening.
A few travel experts we spoke to say passenger demand to the U.S. from Canada is down and say it's no surprise that airlines like WestJet and Air Transat are reducing these routes.
It's one of those things where they feel they can focus on domestic, where they excel, especially on the West Coast, and become more profitable. It's good for them.
John Graddick says the reduction is consumer-driven.
Not driven by the weather, not driven by anything else. Consumers have decided that they'd rather spend their leisure travel dollars on flights other than the USA, and they're reacting to that.
As for Gebhardt, he says he'll continue traveling to the U.S. to see his daughter, but when it comes to vacationing south of the border, he admits he's thinking twice, especially as flight options are reduced. Alex Carpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The family of a BC senior is reeling after an 89-year-old was assaulted just steps away from her home. CTV's Dimitra Margos has the latest on the incident that was caught on camera.
Suksandre says his 89-year-old mother has walked this street in the Queensboro neighborhood thousands of times.
It was just so close to safety, but she couldn't get that far.
On Sunday, his mother was brutally attacked in broad daylight, and it was all caught on a neighbor's camera.
So this is when he pulls up.
Sadre sharing this video with CTV.
Seeing her feel helpless is what really hurt.
The video shows someone trying to speak to Sadre's mother, but she doesn't engage and keeps walking until she needs a break.
I think he knew his time was short to do what he had to do. And then he just jumped out of the car and grabbed her from behind.
The man can be seen here pulling on her arm, stealing several bracelets and her necklace. He says valued around $5,000 to $6,000.
The jewelry that went missing is very sentimental to her because it was given to her by her mom.
But the grandmother of 12 didn't go without a fight. You can see her here fighting off the person with her cane.
She defended herself as much as she can, so she has to be proud of that.
They can be seen taking off in a car, leaving Sandre's mother with a bloodied hand needing 10 stitches. Days later, stains of the crime on his doorstep.
It could have been a lot worse, but what happened isn't good either.
Anyone that's preying on victims of this age, vulnerable population, is cowardly. You will be arrested.
New Westminster police confirming the victim and the assailant did not know each other, and they are actively investigating the incident.
We want our residents, our elderly population, to be able to walk their streets safely.
We are seeing a public safety crisis that we have never, ever seen in this province ever before.
MLA for Richmond Queensborough Steve Cooner says the incident is more than alarming and is calling on the provincial government to do more.
This provincial government needs to get its priorities straight, and they need to address this crisis in a proactive manner.
For Sandre and his family, he says the next steps after healing,
Probably getting confidence to come outside on her own again.
Dimitri Marigo, CTV News, New Westminster.
The social media trial against big tech is resonating in Ottawa. Today, a group of young people from Alberta arrived on the Hill to push for more online safety and accountability. CTV's Abigail Beeman on the Youth Digital Rights Blueprint they released and the changes they want.
1, 2, 3, to you! Among this group of young people on Parliament Hill, Jordan Varney says online bullying from a young age actually changed her personality.
My light kind of dimmed, you could say. Like the spark that you have as a child where you're happy and you want to do all these things and you have these dreams, these kind of cruel areas can really diminish people's light.
Worried about the mental health of youth, including younger siblings, she hopes the government will create online harms policy that incorporates diverse youth perspectives, and along with cohorts is offering up this detailed blueprint on digital rights to help.
Digital spaces are human rights environments.
Youth are calling for clear federal action, which include a national youth digital safety advisory council with real decision-making, a statutory duty of care requiring platforms to assess and prevent harm.
Since France and Australia introduced social media bans for young people, there's been speculation as to whether Canada will do the same. Ottawa has promised a new online harms bill is coming. This group says bans police rather than protect, with adults telling youth to just be careful.
If anything does happen in an online space, it is our own fault.
They want to see a safety net instead, with improved reporting systems.
We're ready to work. The question is whether the government is ready to meet us with the same courage, humility, and urgency.
CTV News asked the government for a response to the blueprint and an update as to whether there's a timeline for new online harms legislation, but we didn't hear back by deadline. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, Netflix is reportedly threatening the tech giant behind TikTok with immediate litigation over its AI video generation software.
This is not over. Not by a long shot.
And that's a moment from the recently released final season of Stranger Things. It's one of several copyrighted properties that Netflix is alleging were improperly copied by C-Dance 2.0, which is owned by ByteDance. Variety reports Netflix has joined other studios in filing suit against the Chinese tech giant, accusing the video generation tool of being a high-speed piracy engine. The company said yesterday it would add guardrails preventing copyright abuse or the recreation of actors' likenesses. And a new poll suggests advancing technologies are raising Canadians' fears that they might fall victim to one of those scams. Leisure surveyed more than 1,500 Canadian adults in December and January. 3 in 4 said they're feeling increasingly vulnerable to financial fraud in the face of rapid improvements in artificial intelligence. 82% said they believe scams are becoming progressively harder to spot. The poll also surveyed 262 Canadian business owners. 66% say they feel more exposed to fraud than in previous years, with 61% saying AI-driven crime is a major threat. Strength in technology and base metal sectors helped Canada's main stock index today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 493 points, while in New York, the Dow added 129, the Nasdaq up 175. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.12 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained more than 103 an ounce, and oil is up to $2.79 a barrel. A Canadian family demanding answers after a woman dies following 11-hour wait in an emergency room.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Di Bedard for this beautiful image. Just ahead, will mist and maybe even the threat of some light freezing rain early tomorrow morning, followed by some steadier rain in the day be the story. We'll take a look at the forecast next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Things are melting and quickly. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather.
What a lovely scene, right? That fresh muck, melting snow, that brown and green grass that will need to be cared for soon enough as spring approaches. 31 days left until. But there's some snow on the way, believe it or not, by the weekend. I'm going to talk a little bit about these temperatures first and foremost. Not a record, but double digits as expected. And our friends in Southeast Michigan are several degrees warmer than we are, in the upper teens. Air quality has improved. We're in the low category, 3 on a scale of 1 to 10. The lower the number, the better. It's still foggy and misty. At around 3 o'clock, got into some sunshine behind it. It was quite beautiful, but still misty. And the winds, although dying down tonight, will pick up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be an interesting day where we will see some more rain and fog yet again. Look at this map. 18 degrees or 65 Fahrenheit in Ann Arbor, pardon me, and Windsor. At the airport, we're at 7 degrees, 45, and cooler still towards our friends in the town of Chatham Kent. Down to 2 degrees, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. London set 0. So we know where the colder air is locally. By the way, we are one of the warm spots in the country. Look at this, 24 below in Calgary. It feels like minus 32. Regina's at minus 15. So when they were warm, we were much colder. Now we've warmed up substantially. And along with this warm front, in behind this cold front that brought us some significant snow and freezing rain through the eastern shores of Georgian Bay into parts of northern Huron-Bruce, and of course the GTA got into some freezing rain. It was a mess today. Temperature's going to cool off in the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to continue to see some rain, light drizzle between now and tomorrow through the afternoon. And then we are going to see temperatures cold enough to see some snow as the weekend approaches. Cloudy and foggy through to midnight. At midnight, we're down to 3 degrees Celsius, still above the freezing mark, and potential for some rain the next day and a half. Will be 7 tomorrow, cloudy and rainy and 7 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3, then +1, flurries and an icy mix. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, -1, and then +4, and flurries on the way. Let's look at your 7-day forecast, courtesy of Enercare Siles.
A University of Michigan student is suing, claiming they were punished for using AI, but that their disability was the real reason their writing raised red flags. The lawsuit says the student, who has anxiety and OCD, was accused 3 times of using artificial intelligence in class papers. They denied it and provided medical documentation explaining their writing style could be mistaken for AI. But the suit claims the university moved ahead with discipline anyways, putting the student on probation, giving them a no record grade, and blocking their graduation. They're asking a judge to clear their record, halt further penalties, and award damages. The university declined to comment. A Manitoba family is calling for action to address issues plaguing emergency rooms across the country. Their concerns followed the death of a loved one who spent 11 hours waiting in the emergency room. CTV's Alex Karpa has the story.
Stacey Ross was just 55 years old when she died after waiting 11 hours in a Winnipeg emergency room in January.
My mother's death should never have happened. She could have been saved.
Morgan Ross said her mom went to St. Boniface Hospital on January 4th with severe chest pain. After a 12-hour wait, she was told it was a virus and was sent home. But she returned by ambulance on January 15th and waited another 11 hours before being admitted. Morgan says hospital officials later said the wait killed her mom.
My mother was taken from me. She wanted to live. She did everything possible to live. And the Canada healthcare system killed her.
Stacey's sister, Sherry Ross, is adamant her death was completely preventable.
Something's got to change, like starting from the triage department where you walk in. Something's got to change.
Now the Ross family, alongside the Manitoba PCs, are calling for a public inquiry.
We need an external investigation to understand what's happening in our ERs and to restore some accountability to the system.
Manitoba's health minister said findings from their ongoing investigation with recommendations will be made public.
The family is at the heart of this process. We want to make sure, again, that all of their questions are answered in full.
One cardiologist we spoke to says wait times continue to remain a major problem at hospitals across the country, which he says is causing mistakes to happen.
Where there's a lack of resources, this is when people start falling through the cracks. And when wait times in emergency rooms start getting so long, they're not doing things as well as they should be done.
As for Morgan, the goal now is change, so no other family has to endure the same pain she is experiencing.
There needs to be a way for everyone to live because this wasn't a reason to die.
Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A 45-year dominance in the pool by two schools is over. We'll show you who ruined the party on the sidelines. It's coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's time once again for our weekly check-in with the local sports community. Bob Belichico with On the Sidelines tonight. Bob, what do you have for us?
Oh, there's so much going on. As we showed you earlier in the newscast, big game, big win for Canada today at the Olympics. Canada almost got knocked out of the quarterfinals. Unbelievable. They needed overtime to beat Czechia 4-3 in overtime. Toronto's lost son. Gotta love Mitch Marner getting the game winner. And among the fans watching on the edge of their seats, the Windsor Spitfires, who were in their locker room, some on their day off, watching the game.
Kind of just brings everyone together. Obviously, it's the best hockey players in the world, so it's really fun to watch and get to spend time with these guys.
So much fun, like me being Czech and most of the guys being Canadian, right? So it's kind of rivalry there. Like they're cheering for Canada, I'm cheering for Czechia. So it's definitely fun to get together and watch that game.
Yeah, he wasn't so happy after the game. That's Jacob Fibiger right there. He has committed to playing at Ohio State University next season. An NHL draft pick, the 19-year-old defenseman tells me today that the Seattle Kraken thought it would be best for him to get some seasoning at the college level. For now, he's enjoying his time with the Spitfires, who have a big game coming up Friday night.
And behind him to go to the net. And now Greentree trying to get loose. Papoy, a couple of whacks. Davis back to help out defensively, and now Greentree's going to hold on to it. Turning, firing, scoring!
Man, that is just filthy. Captain Liam Greentree doing his thing right there. The Spits swept last weekend to keep pace with the Western Conference leaders. Windsor heads to Kitchener Friday night to face the conference-leading Rangers. They were there just 2.5 weeks ago and got smoked 7-2. I'm sure they'll have a better time this time around.
Yeah, you know, it's a really important game, and I think the next game's always the most important of the year now on. So, yeah, just focusing on that, and yeah, I think we've had a really good weekend leading up to it. It's going to be a race till the end, and every single point matters, you know, heading into playoffs, and yeah, so that just makes Friday night even more important.
And Windsor swimmers made a big splash in the pool at the regional championships this week.
Yeah, they sure did. You know, 125 local swimmers qualify for OFSA, which is happening here at the Aquatic Center in early March. So really good for them. 17 from Essex Red Raiders, who broke a 45-year streak to win the team title at the recent city championships.
We were really close last year, and I was just so proud that they were able to swim their best times and finally win the overall championship. And like I said, it's really cool to be the first team in 45 years to do that.
It was always Riverside and Kennedy, or Kennedy and Riverside for 45 years. That's a long stretch. That reign, though, is over in part because of swimmers like Bryn Howard, who won 4 events at WEXA and swam a personal best in the 100-meter freestyle yesterday at SWASA. Howard is one of many grade 9 swimmers making waves in the pool this spring.
I was surprised because, I don't know, like, I didn't think we would be this good, but this is awesome. Like, I think we're going to send a lot of people, is what I'm saying.
Because obviously swimming can be very, like, nerve-wracking and, like, very overwhelming sometimes, but having a team like that just puts so much fun into it and just really, like, makes you want to keep going.
Got to keep going. You know, I'm a very excitable guy, and right now is a very exciting time in sports. It's playoff time at the university and college. Let's check in with the Lancers first. Women's basketball is hosting a playoff game Saturday night at the TLC. Women's hockey hosts Brock at 4 p.m. in South Windsor. The men's volleyball team is back in action Friday at home after finishing first in the OUA.
Shapcott, they keep it alive off the block, and Cooney is stuffed at the net.
Ooh, baby, that's Anthony Ivanovsky with the big block in slow-mo right here. Good stuff right there. The Lancers are as good as advertised, folks. They lost 14 sets all season long. That is wicked. And they went 30-1. They lost one time only at the Toldo Lancer Center. Amazing. They opened the playoffs against 8-seed Waterloo, who won't be an easy one. It won't be an easy out either. The Lancers know the Warriors are an older team and respect their quarterfinal opponent.
They have players who are in their 4th and 5th years who, you know, have been around the block, and our players know them well. So it's an interesting matchup in that there will be no surprises, and we have a lot of respect for them. We know that they're you know, a strong team. This is for keeps, so you know, we're definitely going to be bringing our best.
A costly turnover there for Lakehead, and Windsor strikes first.
Those are backbreakers right there. The men's hockey team, though, has a first-round bye thanks to a great effort in the regular season finale at Lakehead, like you just saw. A 4-2 clincher, which clinched first place in the West and the right for some rest, some well-deserved rest that helped the Lancers last time they were in the playoffs.
We just seemed like we were the fresher of the two teams when we played the next 2 rounds, and I hope it's the same this year. You know, you never know, but you know, everybody that's in the tournament now they're excellent. So any advantage that you can get is much needed.
Yeah, without a doubt. And playoff fever, as you mentioned, happening in South Windsor. A lot of action for fans on Saturday.
There's too much going on. I'm telling you, Stephanie. Super Saturday is what I'm calling. I don't even know what they're marketing this thing, but I'm calling it Super Saturday at the St. Clair Sportsplex. The women's basketball team has a crossover game at 12:30. The men's basketball team, let's be real, they're just going to thrash St. Lawrence at 3:30. They finished 6-12 in the Eastern Conference.
Oh my goodness, Louis Surgener.
And who doesn't like a nice block? The Saints women's volleyball team destroyed Centennial in straight sets. Stephanie, this one took an hour. So quick. They are the marquee matchup a Saturday night at the Sportsplex at 7 o'clock. The Saints host Canadore, who finished 10-6 in the East, a step up from last week.
Like you said, because it's like the later one, it's like the game of the day. Hopefully we get more turnout, and it will just be like a better, crazier energy for our quarterfinal game.
We are watching a lot of film, so that always helps just to kind of study the players. In practice day, we're kind of reenacting how they're going to play in the different plays that they run, so that's going to just give us a different look, and then just confidence. We've had a good season, so we're feeling good.
More playoffs, believe it or not. Junior C playoffs kick off tonight. Game 1 in Lakeshore as the Canadians open against Dresden.
I don't feel like we had a regular season up to Lakeshore standards, but I think we had a lot of new guys this year, and we're ready to go and ready to prove that we're one of those top Lakeshore teams. I think it's a factory reset. It's playoffs, different hockey. It's a completely different game, and I think that's what we're built for. So I think we're gonna have a good run here.
Bob, sports overload. Is there anything else you could fit in?
I got to do radio tomorrow morning with Mike and Meg, and they're like, whoa, what are we talking about tomorrow? Too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Essex opens on the road at Walpole Island tomorrow night. Amherstburg is at Moortown. Game 1 of their best-of-7 series is Saturday night, back in Amherstburg on Sunday. And then the Wheatley Sharks open in Blenheim Sunday against the Blades, and then they're back home on Wednesday, back at the Shark Tank.
And like you said, St. Clair girls volleyball tonight. Boys basketball.
Oh, no, this is high school senior girls volleyball tonight. Marquee matchup, too. I can't wait for the AAA final between Holy Names and St. Anne. It's going to be rocking in that place tonight. And then, semifinals, senior boys basketball Thursday night, and then the finals are on Sunday. I can't get enough.
I know, Bob. We'll try and get to every game possible.
I'll be possible. And I'll be around, too. So
yeah, if you see him, go after him. Yeah.
Make sure you say hi.
Okay, on the sidelines with Bob Belichico tonight. As always, Bob, thank you.
Awesome.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. 35 years of excellence, one exciting night at the Business Excellence Awards, recognizing the best in our region and celebrating a legacy built right here in our community. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have details on a ring of fire in Antarctica.
That's right. So the first solar eclipse of the year was visible from some parts of the Earth. The celestial event was fully visible from Antarctica yesterday morning, so hopefully the penguins got a good glimpse. The moon didn't fully block out the sun, but created a ring of fire. And in South Africa, people had a chance to see a partial solar eclipse where just a section of the sun was blocked by the moon. We've got details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
We also have an online story of note, Melanie, with a popular contest that's returning.
Oh yeah, gotta love this one. The Tim Hortons Roll Up the Rim contest is back next week. For good this time, apparently. So the contest kicks off Monday and runs until March 22nd. And not just for this year, Tim Hortons says it's planned for many years to come. The company says physical roll up the rim cups are available while supplies last. Or you can participate on the Tim Hortons app. And in our social spotlight, this husky wandered onto the cross-country skiing course and decided to join the action. The fluffy intruder caused the cheering crowd to howl in delight. Cameras captured the dog crossing the finish line, and while it didn't reach the podium, it did appear to have the time of its life, Stephanie.
It really did. The crowd went wild when they saw it. But yeah, a very cool experience to be there, to see that happen, and it's making a lot of news coverage over some of the winning Olympic medals that we have.
Exactly, and the dog did look like he was having a good time.
Oh, so much fun. Okay, Mel, remind us again, if our viewers at home want to submit a video, how can they do it?
Yeah, absolutely. They can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
And that's what's happening now. Thank you, Melanie. Still ahead, a dramatic rescue on the Hudson. How police saved an injured bald eagle stranded on the ice. Oh, look at the birds on there. Cloudy sky. We're just talking about birds. We're going to get to a few more birds later on.
Indeed, we will. And the birds are chirping because they're enjoying the warm conditions. I mentioned earlier, Ann Arbor got up to like 18, almost 19 degrees. That's not too far from us. We were closer to about 11, 12 degrees. Not a record, but wow. that was warm. Tomorrow's warm as well, but stays wet and foggy. That fog continues this hour and tonight. 7 degrees for both days, expected to be wet Thursday, Friday, and then cooling off for the weekend. 3, then 1, with some flurries, maybe even a rainy mix. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, -1, -1, then +4. The lows could get into the double digits next week, so got to watch for ice forming up yet again.
So I'm going to have to take out my winter coat again, is what you're saying.
Yes, we talked about that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
There's 31 days left
31.
of the winter
Okay.
season.
Travis, turning to you tonight, you had someone very special in mind when you're looking at tonight's newscast.
Yes, shout out to my mom for this story idea. This is a story really about how Canadians can come together in the wake of that tragedy in Tumbler Ridge. My mom is big into quilting, and she told me that quilting guilds across the province are making quilts and sending them out to BC. That includes quilters right here in Windsor, Essex. CTV's Robert Lothian is speaking with some tonight, and we will bring you that story tonight at 11.
Okay, thank you, Travis. We end this newscast tonight on an injured bald eagle who was stranded on the frozen ice. It was another miracle on the Hudson.
His claw's bleeding, too.
The eagle was spotted crying out before police arrived on the scene. This is body cam video showing NYPD officers carefully working to rescue the majestic and distressed bird from the river. The raptor didn't try to fly away during the rescue and was bleeding from a wing. It was safely removed and taken to an animal sanctuary in New Jersey. So hard to see this. Hopefully it will fully recover.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of birds of prey, in particular the bald eagle, since I was about 4 years old. That interest has been fine-tuned since then. So best regards, of course.
Yeah. So hard to watch that, eh?
It is, and it's kind of sad because it didn't try and get away, right? It knew it needed help, but yeah.
But we have great rescuers out there.
Yes,
okay,
we do.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
Good night.
We have some bald eagles.